morning, PFA Nation. I am not being loud and crazy and energetic right now because it's super early o'clock in the morning and my little son is upstairs sleeping. He's 3 years old. His name's Canyon. Canyon, one day you're going to see this and you're going to realize that Poppy was very considerate. Anyway, I wanted to move through what a morning mobility session is for me. Now, being 40 years old and still being highly active, there are often times where I wake up and I'm thinking, oh, I gotta just put a check on my body. And that's actually one of the reasons that I developed PFA's A to Z, because it allows less of a warm-up style and really more about just checking out how the body's feeling. So right now I'm gonna move you through a lower body sequence, and I'm also sitting here with my good friend Jawku, the Jawku Muscle Blaster. This is version 2.0, and this isn't an advertisement for them, by the way. This is something that I have many of for my athletes, but different attachments in order for me, once I go through my mobility session, to really hit and make sure that my body's feeling good. So this is here because I will need it anyway. But the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start. I like going the concept of A to Z because I like to start from somewhere and I like to end somewhere. So right now we're going to start with our feet and our toes. And I know it's kind of strange, right? Because normally we're not sitting there looking at people's feet. I don't know, maybe some of you are. Don't know, don't care. But I'm going to check that everything down here is all nice and feeling good. And the reason I'm going to check it is because there are so many bones in the feet and we use our feet all the time. So I'm going to check all those. I separate all my toes and I really move them around. And when I move them around, I also like to grab the joint and I like to move the joint just because it gets so many other things in motion. So I get there, right? And I move those around. Cool, not feeling so bad today. Then I like to take my thumbs and the little bit of the arch in your foot, I like to settle into it and I like to just loosen up everything that's in there. This usually feels remarkably good. This is also where the Muscle Blaster with one of the crazy additions comes in well. So I'm gonna save myself some time. This is gonna be a little painful, but I'm gonna save myself some time and I'm gonna get that blasted in there. And normally for me, when I get to the part of the arch that gets towards the heel, it's usually fairly unpleasant, and right now I'm just kind of smiling and grinning it, but I'll get to the other side as well. Loosen it up. Yep, the front's feeling loose. Back a little bit tight, no problem, and I'll get more at that a little later. But cool. Now I'm gonna look at my ankles. Now the cool thing is that by studying Aikido like I did, which is a form of martial art, you start learning how the ankle can move and you start learning different methods of loosening up. For example, if you sit like this and you take this hand and you put it through, right? Turn your foot out, you can get the ankle to turn and rotate in a very fun way. All right, here we go again, right? So if my left knee is up and my right knee is down and my right hand is down, I weave right under my leg, okay? I turn my foot and I grab over it, okay? This allows for a pretty generous. Now, by the way, if you had ACL surgery recently, please do not do this. Cool, so that's one. The other one is very simple. We've done it before, and you just pull up. So we're here, and we pull up, pull, and that's just gonna loosen that joint out over there. The other one, a little bit scarier, but I got you. The right foot goes down. The right foot goes underneath, the left foot goes down, and the left hand is down. I'm going to turn my left foot in. I'm going to grab it with my right hand, and I'm gonna extend it up. That is the floor. Cool. So I'm gonna do that again. Now with the other one. Left, right foot, right hand. This is so you don't do that. Right foot, right hand. the left foot grabs. And I get that going. Cool. And one of my next favorite ones, where I like to sit, is here. So I'm sitting, I'm straight, I'm in line, right? I'm not like this. I'm sitting here nice and in line. Cool. Turn those feet up. If you want to increase the intensity, which, trust me, like 5% of you are going to enjoy this, you take those and you lift up your front. So my front is coming up off the ground. Give you a little bit of a different movement. Cool? Next one we're going to do is we're going to wake up the calves. Now we did it a little bit with the ankle, so we're going to start with the Achilles back here, and we're just going to get a nice strong pull. Right? Once we get that strong pull to happen, we're going to extend that foot slowly down. And once we feel that stretch in the hamstring, we're going to keep it down into the calf, ankle, Achilles. These are actually pretty loose. Do not have a lot of tension in my Achilles. And then I push out. Once I feel it sneak up into the meat, I pull it back. Not so bad. Everything's actually feeling pretty good. I've been doing a lot of speed skating recently, so the lower body is getting a whole lot of love. Okay? The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get into my hamstrings. All right? So your hamstrings back here, I like to flex my foot, but before we do that, we're going to see if the back has loosened itself up. Okay? And we're going to allow everything with soft knees and bent a little bit to just bend forward. Right, let me back away from the camera right here. So I'm straight, but I bend my knees. And I just allow the back, and the reason why is I don't want my back to be the reason my glutes are tight, to be the reason my hamstrings are tight. Cool? I also enjoy tucking my leg up in here, straightening out, getting some good. I find that the tension that we experience when we are stretching is we stop breathing, and the reality is the breath can help you settle kind of into the discomfort. There's a difference between pain when you're stretching and when you're doing mobility work and when you're just doing like a body analysis, and there's a difference between pain and discomfort. Discomfort's okay, it's just the body reaching its limit, and as long as you're doing that safely, no big deal. Cool. So now I've got both legs out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get to where I am. I'm going to live in that discomfort. I'm going to look for it. I'm just going to wait. Now this isn't a full stretch session, so that's why I'm not doing multiple of these. Cool. Next, I'm going to get over here. I'm going to do what I like to call the senior picture. And my athletes that are watching this, they know I like to call it that. Okay? Now, my hips are down back here. Okay? My leg is a little bit away from my butt just because I want to be gentle to my knee. And I'm just going to lean back a little bit as soon as I can take it. Okay? So I'm going to flip us around as much as I can take. Loosen up that quad. Here we go on the other side. Not bad today. Cool. Feet together. And I'm gonna push out a little further than I normally would, because again, remember with the back, I want to loosen that up first. Right, and this way I can push a little bit, opening up the hips. Now I'm going to take those legs, I'm going to bring them in as far as I can go. And I'm going to settle myself forward. Now here's two ways that I like to do it. I like to round the back, come forward, and I like to straighten the back. So I'm going to show you this from the side. Straighten. Chest up, and then push forward. It's going to take the stretch much, much lower into the groin as well as the back. Focus right around the hips. Almost like if there was a circle, it'd get real close to my hip area. Cool. And the last one we're going to do is we're going to get a nice little figure four. Now you want to be gentle, so I'm going to take my left leg here. I'm going to grab my left knee with my left hand and my right foot with my my left ankle with my right. It's still early, trust me. I'm going to carry it over, okay? And the first I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a little hug. I like to take the cradle of the right and go into the left, and I'm not doing a rotational thing, although this is just balance, because here balance doesn't help. I'm just getting a nice squeeze, and you'll feel that all back here. And then we'll get back to that area over there again. But again, we're just moving the muscles, strengthening, straightening them out. Cool. Now we're going to get into our figure four, and I feel pretty good this morning. All right, but I did realize I needed this. So we're here, figure four, and I like to get a little bit of a push. Does it mean it's a little more dangerous for the ACL? Yeah, but if you don't have ACL issues, it's really not a big deal. You put yourself through the punishment of all sorts of things. Getting a little flexion on the femur. Please do not push on the lower leg, tibia and such. Let the femur be the joint so that the hip takes it. Okay? Go. Side view, figure four. I have a different mobility in my right femur for some reason, in my right hip. So we're really gonna push that. Cool. I said it was gonna be the last one, but I am nothing but a big crazy person. Okay, so I'm gonna get in my senior photos, and I'm going to rotate this leg back. So I'm going to get here, I'm going to rotate this leg back, and then I'm going to sit over it. The great of mobility is going to keep your hip down. If not, you can pivot your hip up. Just be aware as to what your knee is doing. And that's really it. That's where we end. So now I'm going to spend time sipping a little bit more of my coffee, and I'm going to let the Jawku do the work in terms of loosening up the muscles that need it. But I hope that this helped you very much. You are all amazing, and make sure that you are taking good care of yourself, because like I mentioned, I'm still very active, and just beginning of the year I turned 40, and I know that it is requires really a lot of intentional work in order for you to keep yourself in tip-top shape. So PFA Nation, I love you all. Some of you I extra love. I think little Candyman is still sleeping. So you all be amazing. Peace.